So I'd like you to think about the last time that you tried to learn something, whether it be how to bake a cake, or how to learn a particular chord in the guitar, or how to insulate your attic. Chances are you didn't take a book out of the library, you didn't enroll in a course. More likely, you turned to a video. You went to YouTube or some other video channel and you learned how to do that. See, the nature of information is changing. Before, teachers, textbooks, we were the sole purveyors of information. And now information is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Our students are accessing it on a daily basis, are watching videos on things that interest them. So our role as a teacher has to change because the learners and their access to information has changed. You see, as teachers, we want to promote that our students become lifelong learners. And it would be naive to think that this information society and this information technology is going to stop at video. We have to give them the ability to process and evaluate information and assess its validity. And there's no better place and no better time to start that in school. So one of the things I do to embrace the use of video within my own classroom and with my own teaching is something called flipped learning. And effectively, flipped learning is this. The students watch a video, and this video provides them with a foundational concept that they can then bring to class, and we build upon this foundation through activities, through group discussions, through one-on-one interaction, through small group interaction, and we're co-constructing these concepts built upon the foundation that they've already had coming into class. So there is less time in class in terms of a Socratic lecture style, and there's more time working on the things that generally I have found the students struggle with, and that's not the concepts themselves, rather the application of those concepts. Now, the biggest benefit of this method is time. So the time that we would previously use in more of a Socratic lecture style would be minimized. And what it would allow us to do is have time for scaffolding. Students can work at different paces if they're at different levels with their understanding of the material. Students can work together in small groups in order to apply these concepts. There's time for one-on-one interaction or small group interaction between the teacher and students that are at or struggling with a particular type of concept. So in terms of implementing a flipped learning, you really don't need much. You need a video to watch and something to watch it on. Now, in most cases, teachers already have a group of videos that they like on YouTube. They might even have a playlist on YouTube. And if you have a playlist and you want to direct your students to a particular video, that's one way to go. You could also have some sort of classroom management system where you post these videos to watch, or you might have your own website or classroom online that you can post these videos or embed these videos for your students to watch right there. So I don't want to give the impression that the flipped learning method is the be-all and end-all and it's all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Certainly, when I tried to implement it in my own classroom, I went through some growing pains. I naively believe that just the novel idea of showing videos would be enough for the students to watch. And certainly that was probably true for the first couple of videos. But the reality is after that, how do we ensure that they continue to watch the videos, and how do we ensure that they're actually understanding the concepts that are presented in those videos? Yes, there can be some issues in terms of connectivity and technology use, but a lot of times those can be mitigated by allowing some time in class to watch the videos, which is not ideal by any means, but allowing the student to perhaps borrow a device and watch it before school, at lunch, on their own free time, and many times students will do this. But the real challenge comes in when we try and keep track of who's watching those videos and whether or not they're actually understanding the concepts that they should be. So the way that I have battled this is through a concept called mastery. And this is really nothing new for those of us in the teaching profession. It can be sometimes referred to as scaffolding, or at least giving the students opportunities to demonstrate their understanding. So what I've set up is something that I like to call a checkpoint. And so for each video or couple videos, there's a checkpoint that the students have to do, and they have to submit to me. Now, these are formative exercises where I'm just really trying to figure out, are they understanding the concepts in the videos? So the way that I set up these checkpoints is like this. The checkpoint outlines the video that they have to watch. It outlines the supporting work within the textbook, some of the practice problems, and then, ultimately, after they've done all this, some self-assessment. And once they've done that self-assessment, then they can move on to diagnostic sort of set of questions that I then evaluate to see if they're ready to move on to the next checkpoint. And when I give them the next checkpoint, then they are moving on to the checkpoint after that, until such time that they're ready to write the unit test. Now, there are some stipulations. Students can't just work at their own pace and finish the course in 2 months. Well, I guess they could, but I test on specific dates. And if the students aren't keeping up with their checkpoints, then I'm using some of that class time to monitor their progress. And what I've found with these checkpoints is that the students now feel a greater sense of accountability for what they're doing in the classroom, a greater sense of responsibility, and a greater sense of autonomy. And for a lot of them, this is something that they embrace with and they run with. Now, again, there are some students that aren't necessarily going to buy into this methodology, but you are using some of this class time to make sure that those that are falling behind get the remediation and the support that they need, while those that can move ahead can do so. So hopefully after watching this video, you have a better sense of not only what flipped learning is, but maybe how Mastery can help you successfully implement this flipped learning approach. And perhaps this video can just provide you with a little bit of an incentive, a little push to try flipping a lesson. And then who knows, maybe a whole unit or even a whole course. Whatever it is, I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for watching.